How you doing? Graham Lawler here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today what I'm doing is I'm doing an all grain brew in my Carl's tin. I'm doing a Exceedingly Good IPA. So what I've done here now, I have my 12 litres of water set. It's up at 67 degrees. It's ready to go. It's ready to go for an hour. So what I need to do now, I'm going to take the lid off this. You can see the steam there, nice and hot. I'm going to add in all my grains. These are all pre-milled and all for me, ready to go. I bought these from the home-brew company. Literally, I've cut the bag, and of course I have my stirring stick so I don't get any balls, big lumps in it. I'm just gonna add that in. Add that a little stir first. Keep going. They're all in there. There we go. Now, that's all in. With a good stir. I'll show you now in a second on the camera. Make sure there's no lumps. Now, you can see there, all well stored in. So need to make sure you don't have any lumps in it that, you know, dough balls, I believe they call them. So that's all well mixed. I'm gonna leave that sit there now for 1 hour. So we put the lid on. I have these clips. Give it a good tight seal. Probably wondering why I'm outside. Well, I don't think my wife would be too happy with the house smelling like a brewery. It's one thing doing the kits, but when you're doing all grain, it might stink out the place when you're doing some boiling and stuff. You can see here, there you are, it's 67 degrees. Had a timer on it there as well. Let's get that a little clean. You can see the timer was for 1 hour, so it's working its way down. And when the 1 hour is up, we'll continue with the next step. Okay, so we have this now. It's after doing its job there now for the last hour at its 67 degrees. So now what we have here is we have the next phase. We have 12 litres of water. I have that boiled in on my cooker and it is at 80 degrees. It's nice and hot. So I'm going to take this off. I have stirred this now probably 3 times in between while it was going for the hour, just to make sure that there was no dough balls in it or anything. Oh, it smells nice actually. Different than the stouts anyway. So we're just going to add in, have these nice heat-proof gloves. Last thing I want to do is burn my hands. So I'm going to add this in, just like that. It's an extra 12 litres. Now, okay, we give that another stir. With a good mix, and as much of these sugars out of it as we can. And when this is mixed, I want to give it another 15 minutes of sitting time. If you get this from the homebrew company, it's quite handy. You get this sheet, gives you the instructions step by step. I just have a few little notes there. So you can see there we've done the pre-crushed grain 67 degrees for 1 hour, 12 litres. Then after the 1 hour, which is now, we've topped it up with 8 litres of water. Sorry, I think I might have said 12, and that was at 80 degrees Celsius. So we're going to leave it now for 15 minutes, and then what we're going to do is some recirculation, which is going to be literally me taking jugs from the tap. Probably can't see it now in this frame, which I will for the next video, and constantly pouring it back and forward until we get it nice and clear running. Right, so we'll pop this lid back on here now. And we'll leave it for 15 minutes. Okay, so we've left that sit there now for its 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my wife to slide this in. As I'm going to have to lift this basket up. It's actually hot, so I have gloves here now. That's what your grains is in. I'll show you now. Just going to lift this up. And we'll slide that piece in underneath it. It's really heavy. Watch your fingers there now. Perfect. So what's happening now is your wort is going down and you're going to be left with your grains inside here. Now what we need to keep doing is recirculating it, but we also have the next 13 litres of water done at 80 degrees. So we're going to put this in, and this is drained, and we're going to keep recirculating it and circulating it until it's clear. When it's clear, then we're going to add in our first top addition, which is 60 minutes to the boil. So we're going to put it on boil for 60 minutes. We'll add this in. That's the first one. Okay, so I'll just show you here now. That's draining nicely. Add in some more water. You can probably see I've changed and I've put the kerosene on something lower so I can stand above it. I don't want to burn myself here. So see in there. Just add in that water. Smells really good. Now, safety first. Nice gloves, something sturdy to stand on. Now I have my clean sanitized jug, although it's going to be touching boiling water or boiling wort anyway. So a little tap here. Let's fill up a jug. Still see lots of grains and stuff in that there now. I'm going to do this, pour it into the top, and I'm going to keep doing that now for the next few minutes, just to try wash out all the sugars and flavours out of them grains. When I have that done, we go on to the next stage. Okay, so we have all the sparge water done. We have all our grain now just left. Looks, that's what's left over now from it. It's all completely drained out. I just kept recirculating the water, as I said, the wort should I say, through the grains until it's more clear. Now we have it ready to go. I have it on boil, clock set for 1 hour. So this is the first top addition that you're putting in. 60 minutes to go. You put that in at the start of boil, and then 15 before flame out or before it's finished boiling, we have the second hop addition. And when we're knocking it off, we have the final hop addition. So for now, we put the lid back on and I let it boil away for one hour, be 45 minutes before I add in the next batch of hops. Okay, so we have the whole thing done now. We have it fully done, the 3 hop additions in, the Warlock tablet gone in as well, and what I did just 15 minutes, just the last 15 minutes of the boil, I'll put in my cooling coil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this inside to where my bar is, and I have a connection that I'll be able to connect up the mains cold water through it and get the temperature down. So when we get it down to the desired temperature, then we can transfer it into the fermentation barrel. You can probably see in the video, I started off this morning with my jacket on. Halfway through I had jacket off, and now I'm jacket on again. It just goes to show you how long it actually takes to do this. It's not a fast process. You want to allow yourself plenty of time. I'm only learning to do this now, I'm only new to it, so you could nearly say my whole Sunday has been consumed with this. It's now 4:05, and I think I started this, I think it was about 11 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to move it in now, get it cooled, and then it'll be on to the next stage where we will be pitching the yeast. Okay, so here we are now inside. You can see I have a connection down here off the mains water. Comes into my cooling coil here, goes around the cooling coil, and here we are. That's actually hot water coming out of that. I have a nice clean drain anyway. So that's going back in there. So I can leave this running while I go outside and clean up the rest of the equipment, the basket and stuff. So I'll just leave that going. Okay, so we have the wort all completely cooled down. I've checked the temperature, it's slightly high, it's 27 at the minute. But I want to get this into the fermentation bucket so I can start scrubbing this. There's a lot of cleaning involved. So literally, as I was saying, this tap here, I'll just hold it up until it gets started because it will probably splutter. But literally, look, you just turn this over and away she flows. You can see it there now going in. Very dark. But let that get lots of, pick up lots of air there going in, lots of oxygen, which will help when we pitch the yeast. It'll actually help cool that down coming through the air in the room as well. So we just let that do its job. I'm going to pitch the yeast and then we will be on to the tasting when it's ready. Okay, so here we are now ready for the tasting. This all grain was ready to go. I think it was finished fermentation and everything and tasted good after about 10 days. So I force carbonated it after I kegged it. Obviously I cold crashed it first. Cold crashed it, force carbonated it, and now it's ready on tap. So we'll just see now what it's like. This was force carbonated with straight CO2. Let's see now. Looks good so far. Now, here there, nice little head. Plenty of carbonation. Not too dark. It's actually really cold. The glass has gotten a little bit frosty from the cold, but I don't know whether you can see it there. Plenty of carbonation. Nice head. Smells really good. Now this finished up at I think it was about 4.3%. And also tastes wonderful. Thing about this one, I am not going to lie and say that I'm a massive IPA fan. I find some of them are too strong. This one here has just worked out nice for me. I will definitely brew it again. It is very flavoursome, not too harsh. You can smell the hoppiness, but it's not overpowering. It's really, really good and very drinkable. I will 100% be doing it again. It's my first all grain IPA, and it most certainly will not be my last. If the rest of them turn out like this, I'll be brewing more. Anyway, that's from grain to glass. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe. Happy brewing, folks.